What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Sunday. You are listening to the Get Right Radio Show with the baddest bitch on the block, Eric Devante.
Good morning. Happy Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. It's the Devil's Day as well as Halloween. Hold on. There we go. Happy Sunday, guys. It's Kelvin Unique.
Scary times.
So long.
Are those crickets?
That's what she said. Why is it so long?
Those are like hood cricket roaches.
They were flying roaches.
Yeah, I don't relate to those. But like he said, happy Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. We have a very special guest in the building, writer and recording artist, the amazing James Barmore.
What it is? What's up? Hey y'all, how y'all
Look
doing?
who's in the building. Hey, friend.
You know, love high key. I'm just gonna say high key, friend. I've been waiting on this invitation, and you've been slacking.
Have I?
You have.
Look, I be getting caught up. No Usher, but I'm so glad to have you here now, especially with the rollout of your amazing new project, Lavender, which we will get into later.
Yeah.
Very, very excited for the kids to get a listen on that.
I'm excited as well.
And we also have some things to get into.
Period. And I'm super excited to be here. I watch y'all all the time. So,
Oh,
you know,
thank
I'm
you.
repping today.
I see you
period.
got your good news podcast.
So no, I'm just really happy to vibe with y'all.
Yeah.
So let's get it. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. All right, let's talk. So, Kelvin, how are you?
You know, I was on the way over here. I was really thinking about what did I do this week.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't did shit this week.
Really, nothing?
So you had like a relaxation type week, a self?
No, I went to work, but that was it.
Okay, no functions.
No function. Well, I take that back. Yesterday, I found my Monday is Snoop's 27th birthday.
Oh yeah, you brought him right to the next decade.
I tried to pull him in, and we went to this wonderful place in Glendale called Bakari GDL. People, I'm gonna tell this in secret because I don't want everybody to go and blow up the spot.
Right.
Okay. Period.
So they have a $30 open bar.
Oh wow.
For 90 minutes.
I know that's right.
So when you go, it's every fucking day. Shh, don't tell everybody. It's every day. It's in Glendale at the Glendale Promenade on the other side. You gotta walk all the way to the back. And you go and you pay your little $30. $35 if you don't like well drinks or whatever. I drink wine. So mine was like $30 or whatever. Okay. But it's amazing. I had like 17 glasses of wine.
Oh wow.
My head is not on my shoulders.
I bet. You did look a little lopsided.
Yeah. No booze.
I thought you were playing Smooth Criminal for Halloween.
I was. I'm on the lean.
Oh my God.
Not the lean.
Call me Michael.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I did yesterday. And it was really amazing. So if you have a chance, go to Bakari GDL in Glendale.
So what you're telling me is for a rough range of $30 to $35, I have 90 minutes to consume all the alcohol I can?
All the alcohol you want.
Bitch, you ain't said nothing but a word.
It's a wonderful day spot. That's a wonderful day spot.
When's the next day?
Right, right. Come
because
on.
think about it. If you go on a date and y'all both get like, if you go out to eat, period, and you get 2 drinks, that's $30. Child.
That's really good.
So that's what we did yesterday.
Slabs out here.
And then randomly, the boy who shall not be named called, FaceTimed me twice at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, those are the hours.
I was asleep.
Those are the hours.
And then I got a text saying, wow, okay. Wow, okay. Nigga, I'm asleep. The fuck? First of all, I ain't talked to you in like 2 weeks. And then you gonna FaceTime me at 2 o'clock in the morning? What do you want? What is this? Is this a setup?
It is.
It's a scheme by Todd
Yes.
to bring the bullshit to you?
Baby should have been a football player because he loves to be on the defensive.
Wow, okay. What the fuck?
I'm a rapper.
He is, ladies and gentlemen. He really
I'm
is.
so lost. So I text back this morning. Good morning. I was asleep. Are you okay? Like the fuck? Like, did you need a ride? I don't know what it is. Like, you have an electric car. Did you run out of charge? Like, what exactly happened? Like, what is going on? Like, why did you call me at 2 o'clock in the morning? Like, what's going on? I also found out some very, very interesting information
from him or about
him yesterday.
Oh wow,
that's off the record. You can't tell the people.
Live your best life. You be tripping on me.
But hopefully he's listening, so I know what you think I don't know.
He knows what you did last summer.
Oh my God, that's my shit. I was supposed to watch I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, the one with Brandy, but
what happened?
On the time. I mean, I've already watched it.
Do y'all watch the horror films during this time of year?
I do not.
Not in a timely fashion. It has to be like I'm up late and for some reason I want to watch something scary.
I don't like horror films. I like suspense films, but
Mhm.
never horror films.
Yeah, I like psychological thrillers. I don't like
Yeah.
horror films.
Oh,
either.
that sounds good. What's
Yeah.
an example of a psychological thriller?
So for
Us?
Us is definitely
Oh,
that.
yes. Okay.
One
Yeah,
that's
Get
not
Out.
mainstream popular, but I
Mm.
definitely like watching international like psychological thrillers because they're a little bit more on like edge of
I
being
feel
kind
that.
of realistic into real life.
Like Parasite.
Definitely like Parasite. There was one that I seen a long time ago. It's a classic film. It's called Dumplings, and that film is crazy as well.
Really?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I don't know why I decided to watch it.
Mhm.
It was just one of those ones where I was like, "Oh, this seems interesting." Let's.
Do they make dumplings?
Yes, but what they make the
It's
dumplings
not a
of?
It's out of aliens.
It's out of babies.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, I love a baby dumpling.
Well, you would love dumplings.
Oh my god, my mouth was watering. I love a baby
You
dumpling.
look like give me a few of those
Okay,
dumplings.
give
I
me
said it.
Kelvin, clean it up. Clean it up.
Give me one of them.
Oh God.
But that was my week. My week was really bland. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'm sorry I don't have an exciting story this week.
Mhm.
Maybe later on the show I'll remember what I did, but I don't have anything. What did you do, Eric?
So
By the way, I love your shirt.
oh,
Look
thank
real
you.
fall.
honestly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Shout outs to my line brother Ashani, friend of the show. He owns Native Hospitality, so Consciously Black is a part of his brand. What my week was pretty simple too. Yesterday I worked at a pop-up shop on like Wilshire.
Mhm.
Shout outs to I Love LA Girls, and it's a black-owned business. And what did I do at the pop-up shop? Basically, I was just helping them, get merchandise going, doing some networking, real cute, real small,
Mhm.
well, real quaint. I don't want
Right.
to say small. So it was a great night. But the way it ended, like, it had me a little emotional, but we'll get into that later on
Ooh.
in the topic.
Mm-mm.
But aside from that, I feel like my week has been very much like spend time by myself and
Mhm.
like gather the funds back up and like think about the things I want to do creatively, think
Mhm.
about my mental space. So yeah, it's been a pretty calm week, but I'm not mad at that.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
I did want to say one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Friend to the show, Zakia.
Mm-hmm.
She has a holidays market today.
Oh,
And I said I was
cool.
going to shout it out. No more free promos, Zakia. Holidays market is going down tonight. It's live music, shopping, and it's free entry with food and drinks. I don't know if the food and drink is free, but it's free entry. It's going down today from 12 to 5 o'clock p.m. at 2023 West Gage Avenue, Los Angeles, 90047. So if y'all need something to do during the day for Halloween, make sure you go to Holidays Market at 2023 West Gage Avenue.
All right.
Yes,
now.
I'm sorry. When you
Shut
said
up.
pop up, it reminded me.
Oh, before I move on, I got a job at a gym.
Oh my! Wait, time out.
We don't like that soundbite. We gotta wait for it. Ow!
I know why you got
What
that job
about
at that
it?
gym.
What about it? And what about
He's
it?
You
now-
ain't said shit but a word.
He's
Okay.
now the steam room operator.
I cannot.
We know what you're doing at that
Oh my
gym.
God, were you at the interview?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Hidden camera and all of it.
I never have any privacy. I hate
Mhm.
it.
So
But,
which gym?
it's actually Plate Fit. You know where Dimitri and
Yeah.
Roberto, friends to the show,
Yeah,
they work. So I'm not gonna be an instructor. No,
I'm about to say, what are you doing?
reception.
Period.
Okay.
And you-
Sit me
your
right down.
The
scheduling,
greeter.
Your
Mm,
calling.
You're a
your-
greeter.
Yeah, let me
I
play
love
my
that.
strengths.
I love that. Where's the Plate Fit?
Yes,
Okay, so I have to pull up the Plate Fit.
it's spread out all throughout LA.
Okay.
So make sure y'all visit. There's one in Hollywood. There is one in like I think Sycamore is the Hollywood location. I don't know. Let me not lose the job before I started. Either way, I just got it.
Okay.
Oh, Sycamore. Wait. No, which Sycamore? Hollywood? By the CVS?
I would assume so.
Huh.
I haven't been. My training starts tomorrow at 6 a.m.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Well, I'll see you. I'll be there.
Okay,
6 a.m.
sounds good.
Right there.
Okay.
Ready to take a class. All these faces. What is
It's like
I may
That's
be
fine.
there.
I believe you.
Okay.
James,
Wow.
how's your week been?
It's been good. Like you guys, just work.
Mm.
But the work week was surprisingly really fast for me, or like really like quick. So I could definitely appreciate that because I was ready to get to the weekend and get the fuck.
Right. I hear that.
But at the same token, it was also very relaxing for me as well, just in the regards of being really gentle with myself this week, and not doing all the things that I typically do, which is always working on something, always thinking about something, always worried about something, child. So, just taking a moment to pause, but still making it through the motherfucking work week, child.
I hear that. You deserve.
You do.
Sometimes everything can't be in fast forward. Like, you really need time to pause because, baby, the world is ghetto.
It
is.
Do not
Fuck.
recommend.
Yes, as fuck. And I was looking at the stories for Bitch You Better Read this week, and I was like, yeah, very ghetto. Very fucking ghetto. So, it is what it is.
I have a question. I don't know. I didn't look at the thing, but is Halloween on there?
Yes.
Oh, never mind.
We're going to talk about it. It's
Okay.
actually number 1.
Ooh.
Okay, so I'll wait.
Yeah. Well, James, was that all that your week consisted of?
That's it, child.
All right, well, let's talk about other people's business.
Period.
Ladies and gentlemen. Well, girl, fuck me. Fuck me. You want Too Short to co-host this?
He does.
Because baby cut me off. It's time for bitch. And I'm like, okay. Number 1. Can I go now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for girl fuck this show.
Go ahead. I had to let it play out. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's time for Bitch You Better Read.
What's my favorite word?
Fucking annoying. Number 1.
Number 1.
Where's my background music?
It's right here.
Where are my background singers?
Where are
We
my
love Patty.
background singers?
So, fictional character Michael Myers criticized for allegedly being homophobic due to the killing of gay characters in Halloween Kills. The latest entry in the legendary Halloween movie franchise recently dropped. And while the film has been both a box office hit and a favorite among fans, some are coming forward with claims of homophobia. Following the release of Halloween Kills, fictional character Michael Myers is being accused of allegedly being homophobic because he murders a gay couple in the new film. If you've watched any of the movies in Halloween, you know that the deranged serial killer character Michael Myers is capable of murdering anyone at any time without reason. However, some critics are crying foul regarding the particular murder of a few characters in the latest film, Halloween Kills. TMZ reports the death of a gay couple in the film has caused an uproar, with critics suggesting that Michael Myers is allegedly homophobic for killing them. While some on social media reposted the homophobic claims as a joke, there was a large majority who believed that the murder of 2 gay characters sends the wrong message and further adds to the stigma that members of the LGBTQ plus community should be killed for being who they are. In comparison, members of the LGBTQ plus community point to the new television adaptation of Child's Play, or Chucky for those of y'all that aren't familiar, in which the killer doll befriends a gay teenager and openly supports gay and transgender characters on the show. As of now, no one affiliated with Halloween Kills has responded to the backlash, including the star of the franchise, legendary actress Jamie Lee Curtis. Halloween Kills is currently playing in theaters and available to stream on Peacock.
This is really interesting.
Yeah, I want to know y'all's thoughts as I process mine.
So, it's the breath out for me. It's my breath out for me. I want to know, why as you were reading that, I wanted to know who the critics were. I wanted to know who was really making the claims at the start of it, because I feel like at a certain point in time, there have always been people that are going to feel the opposite of something that was, made to do one thing, right? But I just think that it's become so normalized that like the capacity for sensitivity is very small now. You know what I mean? And that is a double-edged sword in some ways, because it's like, yes, of course you want to be able to emote and be genuine and authentic in your feelings and emotions and or opinions about certain things. But at the same token, like, baby, if you just didn't enjoy it, then it wasn't for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then you read the Child's Play one, and I was like, okay, but people are making choices in these writing rooms.
Right.
Now. So it's like, who do we really hold accountable at the end of the day?
That's a real question, though.
I feel like it's like, why would you consciously make the choice to kill a gay couple? Like, what was the point in you putting that in the film? What did it do for the film?
Right.
Not for the people watching the film. What was the point of having Chucky be friends with a gay teenager? Like,
Right.
why?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not into this whole LGBTQ plus pandering agenda. I do think that it's interesting because after having the conversation about Dave Chappelle and the trans community, I have learned perspective and also just thought about like, okay, what could the damaging effects be? And in that case, I was like, I do understand the damaging effects. In this one, I mean, I guess it kind of rings the same, but it's like everything is just not for everybody, like you said. Some things just are not meant for you.
Right.
My biggest issue is the headlines and the suggestiveness of like everything the LGBTQIA community complains about. So what happens is that when you do like, oh, the gay community is complaining that a gay couple was killed, it becomes this issue of the straight community is like, oh, why do the alphabet community always have something to complain about? And then it becomes like a bashing session on us.
Right.
And then once again, intersectionality goes out the window, and it's not so much, oh, I'm black with you, I'm just gay and black.
Right.
It becomes, oh no, you're one of them, and
Right.
y'all are problematic, and y'all want this, and y'all are so demanding and entitled. And it's just like, I'm exhausted, and I see these headlines at least 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, at this point, fuck all of y'all. Fuck all of y'all. And to the people that are uptight about this, fuck y'all too. Like, I'm exhausted with everybody.
Yeah.
With everybody.
Tired of being sad, child.
Yes. It's just like, what the fuck do y'all want? What y'all niggas want from a nigga?
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
damn. Go ahead.
Talk about it.
What the fuck did they want him to do?
I don't know.
It's fucking Michael Myers. They want to go in and bake a cake with these gay ass niggas. Like, what did you expect for the gay couple to do? Live and survive? He kills people for a living, people.
Shorty is a
You did
killer.
not go see motherfucking Hairspray. We were not supposed to be there dancing and singing and throwing glitter. He's
Right.
going to fucking kill the people.
Right.
Period.
Girl, if y'all want to see a couple get killed, go watch CIS, go watch CSI.
I don't go watch Queer Eye for the straight guy. You want to see the gay guy last to the end.
Right.
It makes no fucking sense why people are uptight about a gay character or a gay couple being killed. From my understanding, the gay couple moved into Michael's old home and he comes back and kills them.
Yeah.
Bitch, they was in a motherfucking house.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out the house. Why the fuck is you in the house? It could have been an Asian couple. It could have been a white couple. It could have been a black couple. Any couple that's going to move in there, he was going to fucking kill them.
They was going to die.
It didn't have to do nothing with their sexuality at all.
And
I just think
we
it's
would never
so-
move in the house, girl.
It was
No.
right. We would have felt that spirit in our gay bones and left.
Right.
That's a tingling. That is a tingling said, no, this don't feel right, babe. Let's go. I don't get it. I don't get it. I think what you said, the alphabet community, and I know I'm a member, I'm a G.
Period.
I'm a G
I love that.
in the alphabet community.
G down, baby.
So I cannot talk about all the rest of the alphabets. But my G ass is not offended. I think that the rest of the alphabet need to take a fucking chill pill. Maybe they need to sit on Michael Myers' knife or take the knife out their ass. One or the other. Because I don't get it. If just like if we were complaining that, oh, there's black people in the film and the black people die. Bitch, they finally put a motherfucking black nigga in the film. Can we be happy that the nigga made it in the motherfucking film? Because in the first Halloween, there was none.
Right.
They didn't exist on Elm Street. What's the name of the Halloween? We didn't go trick-or-treating.
I don't know.
Now they got gay niggas in there. Now they mad they got gay niggas in there.
And then
Can y'all pick and choose?
And then the white man at the end was like, Michael, you came home after watching your dead husband on that floor. Bitch, fuck this house. Bro,
Okay.
fuck this house and fuck him.
Okay.
I'm out. Like, I'm out.
Maybe they deserve to die.
I'm saying because common sense didn't come into play. So you are not fit to continue on in this life.
I'm
And
about
that's
to
why he
leave.
killed him.
I'm leaving.
It was actually a community service effort.
Today, I'm denouncing the LGBTQIA. I am no longer a G.
Mhm.
I just want to be known as.
A nigga banger?
No,
What the fuck is that?
it's a new one.
Okay.
LGBTQIA.
That's
And
what-
I am,
okay.
and I just want to live in peace.
How big is that part of the community?
Rather big. It's not the DL community. It's the other part of the community. We're not in hiding. We're not on the low. We're just
We just tired of being
We're tired. We are tired of the rest of the
Right.
alphabet. LGBTQIA. And I'm tired. I am tired of y'all.
This is going on social
How do
media.
This is
how do you
exhausting.
identify?
I think I'm gonna join too.
I think I will
Shit.
as well.
Y'all get on my. Where are these meetings?
Mm.
Because I never got an email, one of those text blasts to say we're having a meeting with the gays.
I didn't see it on social
No
media.
one, no one
Right.
contacts me.
Right.
Like, you know, when they do the census, they call you and ask you, do you live here? No one did a census on my ass.
What did you pay your dues this month?
There's dudes.
Mhm.
What do you pay in dicks? What do you pay? Dicks and ass and throat? What do you pay? How do you pay?
We each tackle
Subjective.
it individually.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah. See, rep your community.
Represent, baby.
That was it. That was a deep one.
I'm so over y'all. I'm leaving.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
They done killed the gay character on Halloween.
And Jamie
They
Lynn
are
ain't
offended.
said nothing about it. She quiet.
Who?
Sitting the who's the actress? What's her name?
Oh, Demi Lovato.
No, child. In Halloween.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis. She
Jamie
hasn't
Lee
said a damn
She
Curtis.
ain't
word.
said nothing.
She
What's she supposed to say?
her old ass is exhausted.
If she probably tired of killing Michael herself.
Right.
She's like, this nigga ain't dead.
Mama got out the hospital bed.
It's
and
been
said, "I'ma kill her." I was
35
like,
years.
Oh, please, enough.
35 years.
Your effort is felt, but please stop and
She
stop
said-
making these movies.
And stop making these damn movies.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop.
Because
Because
Jamie Lynn,
Lee,
Lee. I said Jamie Lynn too.
Britney Spears' sister was in this.
yeah,
She was.
her
Wow,
ass.
did she do good?
She had a little cameo.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
She
That's
came
good.
in, she said, I'm Zoe, and then left. Like she always does. Came in and just left us dry.
High and dry here.
Okay. No explanation. Didn't go off to college like Steve. Just
Right.
Ooh.
got
Right.
pregnant and left.
I'm
Ooh.
tired. I never forgive you for that.
We still love you, Steve.
Mhm.
But Jamie Lee, she's gonna get this Halloween check.
She is every single year.
Okay.
This is how Mariah Carey.
She gonna be
No,
in the
this is her
grave
Dave
and come
Chappelle.
up.
I'm just here for the check. I already got paid, so what do I
Right.
care?
It makes
Oh
no
my
sense.
God. Speaking of talking a lot, number 2.
Number 2.
Jada Pinkett Smith explains why it's hard to
Here we go.
maintain a healthy bedroom life with husband Will Smith.
I bet y'all know why.
Let me just read the story. Jada Pinkett Smith has been an open book when it comes to her life and relationships, specifically her marriage to husband Will Smith via her show Red Table Talk. Wednesday's episode featuring Gwyneth Paltrow was no different, as the women discussed the challenges of maintaining a good sex life as well as communicating personal needs to your partner. It's hard, Jada said. The thing Will and I talk about a lot is the journey. We started in this at a very young age, 22 years old. That's why the accountability part really hit for me, because I think you expect your partner to know what you need, especially when it comes to sex. It's like, well, if you love me, you should know. If you love me, you should read my mind. That's a huge pitfall. Girl. Jada, who has been married to Will for 23 years, agreed with Gwyneth when she said that a person can feel crushed when their partner isn't able to understand what's inside their head. You tell me what you need. Tell me what you want. And on top of it, I know that I have to be accountable to do the same. I really try. It's uncomfortable, but it's deeply healthy. And I think around sex because it's something that we don't talk about. And there's so much fantasy around it, Jada said. We all know that Will and Jada's marriage has been anything but traditional. In July 2020, while sitting at that same red table, Jada revealed that she and Will had temporarily separated a few years back and confirmed her affair with August Alsina, who had publicly blasted their hidden relationship. Then in a September interview with GQ magazine, Will shared that he had also engaged in other sexual relationships. Jada never... Huh? What?
With the same person.
I know that's right, because August look good.
Hey, toss them around.
Let me
child.
stop lusting, my lady.
Asshole.
Jada never believed in conventional marriage, Will told GQ. Jada had family members that had an unconventional relationship. So she grew up in a way that was very different than how I grew up. There were significant, endless discussions about what is relational perfection? What is the perfect way to interact as a couple? And for the large part of our relationship, monogamy was what we chose, not thinking of monogamy as the only relational perfection. Okay, so
Lots to dig in here.
I want to talk about your thoughts about this, and then I want to have a follow-up of, is there a such thing as oversharing in terms of like a relationship? Well, of course, there's a such thing as oversharing, but like when you're in the public space, is it like, what is transparency and what is oversharing?
Gotcha.
So first, we'll start with thoughts on the story overall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Represent.
Representing down. Who said it had to be June for Pride?
To 365.
I just, at this point, just break up.
We're tired.
We're tired. I'm not even in this damn relationship,
Yeah.
and I am tired of this relationship.
We tired.
Now,
Right.
one thing that I will say about this, we have looked at Will and Jada's relationship as a pillar of Black love for the
Right.
longest. Like she
Right.
said, they've been together since they were 22. So that, what is like 40, 50 now? Will's 50. So like 30 years, we have looked at them like as these are the people that we look to as Black love. And I don't want these things that are happening now to tarnish our ideas of Black love. Now, what works for them works for them. And I'm happy that they have come to a place that they can be open and talk about what we all heard rumors about for years. But I don't want to hear it anymore. And I don't want Jada just to be on. It's almost like, what can we get people to talk about Red Table Talk, because we ain't got shit else to talk about no more.
I mean, shit.
So I'm just gonna say, like, it's hard for me to love Will, because I like fucking people. Or Will never hit my G spot. Like, what's next?
Yeah, it's like, mama, please.
And then, like, I think they both.
And that's okay.
And that is okay.
That is fine.
And if they just want to just do it. But we ain't got to know it.
Right.
James.
I don't know. I feel like what started as, I think what started as a point of transparency as far as Red Table Talk was concerned has now become oversharing.
I feel that.
I had to find it.
I feel that. You didn't have
But-
the words. Jada always does, though. And that's the fucking
Too
problem.
many words.
That's the fucking problem.
Too many fucking words.
Mama, please.
Yeah. So like I think what started as transparency is now oversharing, and now it's just to a point of where like it's this emotional and verbal and
Mental?
intimate oversharing. You know what I mean? Like,
Gotcha.
and I understand that we're definitely in a space and environment in an era of oversharing to an extent, because everybody wants to know everything about you.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they don't feel a connection they had. They don't think you're real. They don't think you're
Right.
authentic, whatever the case may be. And yeah, I just think that she peeled back the Pringles cap just a little bit, and she was like, "Oh, this kind of work," and then she peeled the
Once
rest.
you
And
pop, the
then,
fun don't stop.
baby,
Yeah, right. We started with the little tin, baby. Costco. Here we are. And my thing is that so I do like parts of this conversation. Like, I do like that they are talking about what is relational perfection, because I do think it ties into my next point. Like, while we look at them as like a staple of Black love, stop making other people's relationships your goals, because you
Right.
don't know what the fuck is going on.
Right.
You don't know what is going on. And no one is above struggles in relationships or not the greatest communication. And Will and Jada, Beyonce, Jay-Z, like whoever the fuck is with whoever, they all fall into that. And I think because we dehumanize celebrities, we dehumanize all the things that come with that, like the emotions, the struggles, the turmoil. These are fucking people. Get real. So stop looking for your Jada, stop looking for your Will, your Jay-Z. Like, look for the divine person that is supposed to match up with you. But I do like that they're talking about relational perfection, because there is this idea that
where do you think the idea came from?
People who are open to just trying life out. I think like this, we have made ourselves very structured in terms of like what a relationship is supposed to look like, whether that's because of our parents, whether it's because of our best friends. It's like, who says that that you have to be monogamous? If that doesn't work in your situation, then accommodate each other. Y'all committed to this. Y'all didn't commit to a societal standard of a relationship.
Right.
So like, if you feel like, okay, I'm interested in this. I'm interested in this. How do you feel about this? What is a good middle ground? That is your relationship. And it's not for other people to be like, oh, I couldn't do that. Well, bitch, that's why it's not your person.
Period.
My person. So I do like that they talk about relational perfection because everyone's relationship looks different and that can still be healthy. It doesn't have to look the same across the board. So I do like this conversation. Jada is oversharing out the ass, and I'm afraid of what's next. I feel like she's gonna say that like Willow Smith is Bob Marley's daughter. Like I'm just like, I don't know at this point, but I'm like, girl, please. I'm tired.
No mas.
Think about poor Will.
Will is probably exhausted.
Black Twitter is really for Will right now.
Yes.
And then the story came out. Will contemplated suicide.
Oh, no.
Yes.
And this is why.
Because he's tired of Jada.
Jada is driving that man crazy.
The bags under his eyes are giving Louis Prada Gucci.
He is tired.
Popping
down.
sad.
Yes, he is.
And at this
tired.
point, I just want him and his boyfriend to come out and then just live their best life. Like I'm okay.
It's me. It's me, ladies and gentlemen. I have been fucking Will Smith for the last 10 years.
How was it?
That was a
Fran?
load.
How was it?
I know it's a big load to kid off.
It was so good. Oh my God. Yeah. When he said switch, I flipped it.
I knew that's right.
Mhm.
Okay. Big Willie style.
Happened in the summertime, but then we took it to the winter.
Okay.
Getting jiggy with it.
Absolutely.
The Wild Wild West. In there. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you.
We
In the
fucked
words of
Miami
Tupac.
one
In the words
time.
of Tupac, I ain't mad at you.
Oh, well, Tupac is still banging Jada. And we
I know.
spoke about this
It
like
goes.
on a Clubhouse call because we don't really talk through FaceTime because, you know, Will gets tired of seeing Jada's face. So we do it through Clubhouse.
Got
So
you.
she's still, Tupac is still alive.
Got you.
And Jada's fucking him somewhere in Cuba.
Mhm.
Got you.
And I'm fucking Will.
Period.
Yeah, I'm happy y'all happy.
Yeah, I'm just glad that we got that out. I think now we
Yeah.
can move forward as a family.
Yeah.
As a unit.
Can I come over?
Are you trying to fuck Will?
Maybe, maybe not.
Perhaps.
I mean, he's gonna do what he wants to do.
Maybe Jaden.
Maybe Jaden.
Yeah.
I'll take Jaden.
I don't want to talk about my son-in-law.
Okay. You don't have to.
Okay.
I will do all the talking.
Got it. Got it. That's fair. I support that.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
We appreciate that.
Number 3.
Number 3.
So this shit is wild. A woman sues Geico for $1 million after contracting an STD from a man while having relations in his car.
Wait, what?
A woman sues Geico for $1 million
$1 million
after contracting an STD from a man while having relations in his car.
in his
When I
car.
read this, it gave me a headache.
The headline is giving me a headache. A Missouri woman is asking for $1 million from Geico after she participated in some adult activities and contracted an STD from a man in the backseat of his car, which was covered by his insurance provider, as all cars are. The Daily Mail reports that Geico has since filed a countersuit in federal court accusing the man and woman who have chosen to remain anonymous during the court proceedings of colluding in order to come up on a massive payday. The insurance company is now challenging the pair's court-given right to stay anonymous in order to proceed with this case. The woman, who is only referred to as MO in court documents, filed a liability suit against the popular agency after having unprotected sex with the man labeled MB in the backseat of his 2014 Hyundai Genesis in 2017.
That's the problem.
Is it the initials? Is it the backseat, Ari Lennox, or is it Hyundai Genesis
The
in
Hyundai
2017?
Genesis.
Okay. I heard they got recalled.
Because it was giving out STDs.
Okay. That makes sense. So it's an epidemic.
Here we are.
Oh, so maybe she has a case. As a result, the woman claims she tested positive for HPV.
Now, girl.
The car is covered by an insurance policy in the man's name. At that point, the woman, without Geico's knowledge, entered legal talks with the guy and reached an agreement in state court where she would receive $5.2 million that she can collect, if at all, only from Geico, according to court documents. The woman has since pursued a claim for coverage from Geico to the tune of $1 million, which was disputed, and now she's threatening to sue for damages related to her 2018 diagnosis. The case has since escalated to a federal matter. The couple admits that they did not use protection when engaging in intraverse.
I know who wrote that.
I read that straight. I'm like, something about this didn't flow off my mouth right. Intercourse. The couple admits that they did not use protection while engaging in intercourse, which occurred across state lines in eastern Kansas. But the woman feels that Geico owes her compensation due to the fact that the car was insured in the man's name. Geico is asking for the case to be dismissed, citing that the man's car insurance only covers injuries that happen out of the ownership, maintenance, or use of the car. There are also questions about why the couple is choosing to remain private when they had public sex in a vehicle, and whether the virus was contracted during that hookup, considering the couple admitted to having relations at other locations around that time. The court has allowed the defendants to proceed anonymously until the court rules on MO's motion to dismiss for lack of personal jurisdiction.
I can't.
But within 7 days of the ruling on personal jurisdiction, Geico would need to file a complaint that names the remaining defendants by their real names. The judge has yet to make a ruling in this case. I see why you have a headache.
So why are they just allowing this clown factory to go on right now?
I don't know. This is weird. And we said it earlier. Earth is ghetto. You're telling me that? Like, what is this? What is this?
Why are we allowing this?
What did I just sit here and read? You're telling me that?
And she's been going at this since 2018, and they will not allow this to be dismissed unless she chooses to dismiss it.
Mama must have legal fees out the ass. You're telling me that? I mean, I don't know I don't know what my opinion.
I don't have one.
I don't know if I have one.
You know what? I don't have an STD, but can I sue? I had sex in the backseat of a car.
Oh, did you?
I have a crack in my neck.
Was it good sex?
Fair sex.
What song were you listening to? I'm trying to make a case.
That tells
here.
a lot.
Trying to make a case.
Right.
We need all. If you want this money.
We need all the details.
Work with me if you want this money.
Rock the boat.
Come on, rock the boat.
Oh, okay. So you can't sue her. So car, make and model. We're gonna get this.
A Nissan Altima.
Oh. Was it with a woman with a spiky haircut?
No Karen's. Karen's baby daddy.
Oh.
So it was a Joe. Got you.
So we're gonna sue. Oh, an insurance provider.
Geico. Geico as well.
Okay, so we're gonna sue. What does Joe do for a living?
He works at a button factory.
A what?
A button factory.
A button factory.
Oh.
Mhm.
So we're gonna. What does he do at the button factory?
He pushes buttons.
We're gonna sue Geico because we're obviously going for money here.
Right.
So how much do you think we should go for?
$2 million.
$2 million?
I still can't turn my head all the way to the left.
It's because Nissan Altimas are built like on a lean.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what fucks you up.
Mm-hmm.
How long are you willing to drag this case out for?
Forever.
Okay.
Until I get my money.
All right. James, do you know of any good legal representation? I have all the notes down.
I have to do some research.
Okay, thank you.
I think we can
because
do
that boat
here.
was rocking.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And have you ever been in the backseat of a Nissan Altima?
Mm-hmm. A few times.
There's not a lot of space.
It's not.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Imagine.
I've heard.
Imagine me crammed up in the back of the Nissan Altima.
Well, what position were you doing?
The Rosa Parks.
He was sitting down,
I
baby.
was sitting.
Ooh, he was sitting.
I was sitting, not moving.
Oh, God. Would
Stuck.
not get up.
Stuck.
No Ari Lennox in Durant.
Stuck.
Oh,
Stuck,
my
baby.
God. My throat hurts so bad. I'm done. Y'all
No, but honestly, how do you sue the insurance company over, first off, HPV, which is something that females already have in them? As the nigga just comes in and fucks up their walls, and then that's when it's activated. Like that's how you get HPV. It's already there, and some nigga go and it activates that shit, and now you have HPV. So you already have something in there, and now you're gonna sue Geico
because
along with the man.
I was in the vehicle with the gentleman that gave me the HPV.
Right.
And for her, it makes sense.
It makes it from 2017 to 2021. This must make a hell of a lot of sense.
It makes sense.
And obviously to the judge too. Like, why didn't the judge already dismiss this shit?
Federal court?
Why is it still climbing?
Maybe.
Why is this case still climbing?
I don't know.
Because if that's the case, I'm about to sue everything.
You may as well. You may have a case.
Geico, really?
And the gecko.
And the gecko. He been
Not
out
the
here
gecko
working.
gonna be replaced with STD ads. God, they got to change their policy. May cause STIs.
Right. Yeah.
We are not.
Do not cover STDs and STIs. Imagine that. I can see like if she got crabs and the crabs were crawling around in the car, and then you like, well, the car, the crabs were in the seat of the car.
Mm-hmm.
I sat down, got a little itch, and now things are crawling on me. I could see that, but HPV.
I feel like she's just gonna drag it until they get tired of going and they're gonna settle.
for like none of what this
For,
amount is.
she's not gonna get a
None of
million, but
this.
she's gonna get something.
And if she has a lawyer, she's losing all that money.
Who took this case?
A public defender.
They ain't got nothing else to do.
Nope.
It doesn't say a public defender. I'm just assuming.
I'm just thinking whoever, it must be a cousin or something. Somebody that ain't got shit else to do but to sit around and sue Geico for $1 million over something that she did herself.
When Vivian Green said, I don't know, I felt that. Number 4.
Number 4.
A Kentucky school district is investigating.
Number 5.
This is important, though.
We been in Kansas now. We in Kentucky, child.
Yeah, I know, right?
I know the school district and I know the school.
Do you?
I
Shit
do.
is weird.
It was part of my recruiting.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's get into it. A Kentucky school district investigating a homecoming skit where teen boys in lingerie gave staff members lap dances. These kids aren't the same as me when I was
Pause.
younger.
Hold. Okay.
Had to process.
Yep.
A Kentucky high school is under investigation by its district after photos surfaced of male students. A Kentucky high school is under investigation by its district after photos surfaced of male students dressed in bras and panties giving male staff members, including the school principal, lap dances. Blood clot. The district says that the incident at Hazard High School. Don't boo. The name speaks volumes. At Hazard High School.
Oh, see.
Baby, they wanted a scandal.
They just wanted to live up to their rap.
Right. A hazard. So the district says that the incident at Hazard High School in Hazard, Kentucky was part of the school's homecoming events earlier this week, according to CBS News. The photos of the event were originally posted to the Hazard High School Athletics Facebook page, according to the Courier Journal, but the post has since been deleted from the site. The photos, which have been widely shared across social media, were a part of an event called a man pageant and showed teenage boys dressed in women's lingerie giving male school staff members lap dances. The adults in the photos appear to be clapping and laughing. I mean, if you can't afford the strip club, get your student. Among the staff members photographed next to a dancing student was the school's principal, Donald Happy Mobilini. He's cooked after this, who is also the city's mayor.
Oh, they about to eat him up.
Who is also the city's mayor.
Social media is about to eat him up.
The high school.
I thought the guy who had who was taking the shot in October, it's this one. It's Kentucky.
Donald
it's
Happy
Hazard.
Mobilini.
It's Hazard, Kentucky. I got it.
Wow.
The last day on Halloween.
You
They
are
said,
the winner.
"Bitch, we swooping this one in."
And they own it. Other photos show female students dressed in homemade Hooters uniforms and carrying beer glasses. What? Kelvin, you were recruiting in this district? Well, what were you doing during your tenure?
I have questions.
At Hazard High School.
This wasn't going on when I was there.
Because if the city mayor is giving it up like this, what were you doing?
And how long has this been going on to where it's just now being talked about?
Kentucky's ghetto.
As fuck, man. That's not even the
Excuse
word.
me. Kentucky's trailer park.
Yeah. Legend Goins, a senior at the school, told CBS affiliate WKYT that the event wasn't meant to be anything sexual. It was just a joke so we could get more laugh, Goins told the station. I think that everyone's taking it way too far, said student John Max Lover. Every year up to this year, I would say that they're just as vulgar as you would put it. In a statement that was posted on the district website, Superintendent Sandra Combs, no relation to Sean Combs, said that the photos showed inappropriate student-led activities and that the district has a responsibility to address the issue. We strive to foster creativity in our students, but unfortunately, this time it was carried too far, Combs said. Homecoming activities were planned as a celebration for students, staff, and the school community. All were intended to be fun and good-natured. However, the activities did not play out as intended. Combs added that the school's dress code was not followed during the incident, and in order to avoid any future issues, costumes will be reviewed for appropriateness. The district said that it conducted appropriate disciplinary action following the incident, and it will not disclose information about what actions were taken. A student activity committee is being developed to review all student-led activities, which should prevent any such skits from being performed in the future, the district said. Damn, this story is long.
It is.
Additionally, students and staff are expected to undergo policy and procedure trainings to ensure this doesn't happen again. Using this as a teachable moment, we will provide social media training for our students and staff, Combs said. In today's society, students must understand that anything posted online is permanent.
Exclamation point.
It is there on public display for everyone to see and share around the globe. We would hate to see a single youthful indiscretion haunt one of our children for their entire life.
It already has.
It's done. Our district would like to apologize for the activity that has been portrayed in the media, and we regret how this has unfolded, Combs continued. This is not the type of event that typically occurs here at Hazard High, that's a lie. And we sincerely regret any embarrassment this has caused our school community. Bitch, the mayor was a part of this. Your talent's disgrace.
So
Where was the PTA?
Girl,
Probably
in
there.
the audience.
probably they're clapping
in the
along.
audience.
First off, we have to think about where this is. Okay, this is Eastern Kentucky.
Mhm.
This is Hazard, Kentucky has about all of maybe like 500 to 600 people
In population.
in population. It's not a big city in the middle of Kentucky. Very podunk, very country, very. So put your mind in there first, okay?
Mhm.
Now, the pageant has been going on for years.
Mm-hmm.
The guys dressed up as females, as the male pageant, and it's kind of like a drag show. Now, have I heard about the lap dancing? No. But it probably was part of their lingerie part of the pageant,
Right.
and it probably just went just a little bit too far. Not excusing what happened.
Baby, you can't excuse
I
that.
can't excuse that. But that's just like a little backstory of how it probably occurred and what was leading up to that point.
Some context.
Now, I seen the pictures. Happy was happy.
Donald.
He had a very happy face on to get this lap dance by this little boy.
Jesus Christ.
And they all were wearing Fenty Savage.
Really?
Wow.
They all had lingerie on. In this
That
thing.
was the choice lingerie. You could have wore any
Wait, are you
Lover's
just
Lane.
adding
It may have been Victoria's
Romantic
Secret because they
stuff.
probably ain't got no Fenty Savage in Hazard. They probably went to the big city like Murray and got where Josh is from. Shout out to Murray, Kentucky. Shout out to Josh. And probably went to the mall and got these things from the Victoria's Secret and then took them back to Hazard to put on for that thing. But they were in lingerie, which was probably also inappropriate.
Mhm.
I don't know. So my little gay ass would have been happy to see them and walk around in little lingerie.
As a kid, I would have been living my life.
Yeah, as a high school, I'm like, oh wow, this is nice. But as an adult, I'm like, oh wow, it probably is kind of inappropriate. Do you think they're? Y'all go
Probably.
talk. Y'all talk. Y'all
I ain't
talk.
got shit to say.
Y'all talk. Do y'all think we're being too? Like, if it was a joke and it was intended to be like as a joke and nothing like sexual or even though it was a lap dance,
Mhm.
it was not intended to be, degrading. Do you think that we are overly sensitive if this is something that's been going on for years? But then also thinking like, well, we never had a Negro night. We had a Negro night every night, and now it's 2022. We can't have a Negro night no more. So it's like on those same lines. Like, okay, we are too sensitive, or we have grown up and learned that some things are inappropriate.
No, this is just inappropriate.
Mhm.
It's inappropriate. And for me, it's not even so much the students because kids only do what you let them get away with. It's the staff that are entertaining little boys in lingerie shaking ass in their face.
Mhm.
That is wild. As a parent, I'm looking at you like, what are y'all doing with my kids when I leave them? That's
Mhm.
the problem. Like, you cannot trust the people that are supposed to be teaching your kids,
Mhm.
raising the future. No.
Mhm.
The same thing I'm doing for my husband, you have my son doing for you on stage
For staff.
in lingerie during science. I know you motherfucking lying.
Baby during gym.
It was homecoming.
I don't give a fuck. You better come home now. Now.
See how they had pajama day at homecoming?
Bitch, it's not the same.
Did y'all girls wear 90s?
No, none of the. We weren't allowed to, as far as my high school was concerned. It would be like some type of like holiday, like pajama sets.
Right.
No 90s. You bitches had onesies. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like
Can't even show skin, really.
that type of shit. It was very, very.
We was
like,
naked.
Yeah.
And this is why I asked you, during your tenure, what were you doing at Hazard High School?
I was not there during homecoming. I got in and out of. You want me to go to Hazard? My black ass to stay in Hazard, Kentucky, where the mayor name is Happy?
Mm.
I'm gonna get shot.
Mm.
That was one of those sundown towns.
Before this
Got you.
story, I didn't even know Hazard, Kentucky existed.
Oh, it's a lot of weird places in Kentucky. That's East Kentucky. East Kentucky is super racist. So like when I only went once because the counselor could not go. Because they said I only could do Western Kentucky because I'm black. And like Eastern Kentucky is where all the racist people are.
Mm.
So like really when I say like a sundown town, really one of those places. Like
Wow.
500 people. There probably was like 6 black people there. It's not where you want to be. Which is why they give lap dances and lingerie.
They was just in their own little corner in their own little church,
Mm-hmm.
being whoever
Twerking.
they wanted to be.
I don't know if I'm having kids anymore. The world gets progressively ghetto as the days go by.
So what I was gonna say was, I feel like us as a generation has come up in between these two extremes of the spectrum, right?
Definitely.
So I definitely, I don't condone it. I do not condone it, but I understand why, or like the perspectives of how both like both perspectives, so to speak. You know what I mean? Because us coming up in an era or coming out of an era where it's giving a lot of the things that we think are ghetto at this point. Like, well, maybe we used to see that when we was younger. You know what I mean? That was the normal thing, right? But as years have progressed, and as we've progressed and come into awareness of ourselves and taken into consideration and taking the bits and pieces of things of the past into what we're seeing play out in front of us right now, I won't say that it's hard to gauge what is and what isn't, because at the end of the day, it's all subjective to the person, you know what I mean, and what they think and what they feel. For me, I just think that whole story is crazy.
It's a crazy ass story.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, crazy as fuck.
But I get it, but it's crazy. So that's all I got.
Oh my God.
I don't want it anymore.
I didn't know the girls was giving it. I mean, I don't have the capacity to read any more of that story.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't know that the school districts were giving it up like that.
Very dissatisfying. Do not recommend.
Wow. Number 5.
Shut the fuck up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
A black chief diversity officer reportedly loses job offer with Texas hospital system after pointing out alleged microaggressions, saying too sensitive about race issues. According to NBC News, a black chief diversity officer, that's written incorrectly. Yeah. A black chief diversity officer, Joseph B. Hill, offer was rescinded with Memorial Hermann Health System in Houston when he informed the vice president of human resources about the microaggressions. Joseph B. Hill was looking for a home in Houston, Texas, as he prepared to move from Atlanta, Georgia, to start a new career with Memorial. Given a white real estate agent, Hill alleges that the agent made several. Given a white real estate agent, Hill alleges that the agent made several racially insensitive comments. While shopping for a home in August, the agent allegedly made unconscious racial biases. He pointed out a black-owned clothing company and reportedly said, "One of those stores over there is owned by a rapper. I don't know those guys." Hill also alleges that the agent assumed his Porsche SUV was a rental and stated, "That's a nice rental car that you have there." Hill recalled another comment that was made by the agent when the two were looking at a public golf course. The agent allegedly insinuated that Hill would play at a public golf course, someplace where you would play. At the time, Hill didn't respond, according to reports. Instead, he sent an email to Lori Knowles, Memorial Hermann's Human Resources Vice President, and shared the alleged microaggressions. In an email obtained by NBC News, Hill wrote, "The experience crystallizes why the chief equity Jesus Christ. What is this?
Basically, the ethics and diversity person.
Yeah, but you know how every place has a different way of saying it?
Yeah.
It's got
Equity,
like 5
diversion,
names.
and inclusion officer.
Is an important role for Memorial Hermann. Today, many companies are fraught with microaggressions that are unintentionally or intentionally alienating their employees.
And this is in a place of public health. So, that exists heavily.
Yeah, which sucks because then the patients, I can't imagine what they're dealing with.
That part.
Memorial Hermann has an opportunity to truly leverage equity, diversity, and inclusion to engage workforce, enhance the brand, and increase positive patient outcomes.
Oh, they wrote that.
Hill stated he sent the email because I felt obligated to do so because he was representing the company. I ostensibly I was possibly going to work for. It was the epitome of the job I was hired to do. After being told sorry about his experience, he received an email that rescinded his offer. It read, "We regret to inform you that we are rescinding the offer of employment dated July 21, 2021. We appreciate your interest in the position and wish you much success going forward." Hill's lawyer, Mark O'Berty of Houston, stated Memorial Hermann expressed that his client was not a good fit. It also reported that it was uncomfortable with Hill inquiring about hiring staff to build his team. Lastly, it's also alleged that Hill was overall too sensitive about race issues. After over a dozen interviews, Hill stated he was in shock and floored about the situation. He also said that he's exploring legal options. He said because this is bigger than me. Memorial released a statement that read, in part, sometimes during the hiring or onboarding process, circumstances can change that may lead to an offer of employment being rescinded. Out of respect for all individuals involved, it is Memorial Herman's practice not to discuss personnel matters publicly.
They doubled down.
They did. They said, yeah, all this happened, and he's too caught up about it. He didn't get with the crew, so he can't work here.
Wow.
Wow, that's that. Yeah, that's some wild shit.
How do you say the chief diversity and inclusion officer is too sensitive about race issues when that's their entire job?
Right.
To think about inclusion and diversity.
For the company.
But you're too sensitive about race issues. So what did you want them to do? What exactly did you think they were gonna come in and do? Just sit down and like, all right, cool. Call the nigga. What did you think was gonna happen?
I don't know. You know, as a black person, sometimes it's exhausting reading shit like this.
It is.
It's just a reminder that this country is so fucked up towards us.
And they're not here for it.
At all. Like, it's just like, it's a constant slap in the face. You know, we go from Hazard, Kentucky, doing that wild shit, to coming over here and being called nigger with a hard ER.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, and there's one common person in both of these stories.
Yes. Donald Happy, whatever the fuck his last name was. This is exhausting.
Donald Happy is now the new chief inclusion director at the hospital.
It's crazy. I don't know. I'm really exhausted by this. Like, I feel like common sense doesn't allow me to really speak on this. It's like, if you don't see what's wrong with this, we shouldn't even be talking. We should not be in the same space.
But it's important enough to where an article had to be written about it, because allegedly it's not common.
Yeah,
I always say common sense is not common nowadays,
mm-hmm.
and it's really scary to both understand and watch that in real time with a lot of just daily situations that we always see or hear about, and it's like, how is this even possible?
How is that even fucking possible?
Like, do we not understand? Like, are we not? No, baby, we're not.
No, like I just and like you said earlier, this is going on in public health.
Right.
So, like, if the treatment
People's
of the staff
lives.
is poor, you know the treatment of patients is no better.
Yep.
And that means that, like, certain lives are probably being prioritized, which is another problem in itself.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm tired.
Yep. Let's move on.
Very fucking tired. Ladies and gentlemen, that was all for bitch. You better read. Like, it's just like, girl, what
It's
the
okay.
fuck?
Just let the silence be.
Right. Just enough.
It's too much.
All right. It's time for the topic, y'all.
Flashing lights.
So today, as I said earlier, we have the amazingly talented James Barmore in the building.
Yeah.
Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? It's me.
So, first, thank you for being here.
Thank you guys.
Yes.
I've loved this experience and sharing with y'all.
Oh, we love that.
Thank you.
So, as I mentioned earlier, you are a writer and recording artist, and you just released a project called Lavender.
Sure did.
So, let me start by asking you, is music your first love?
Music is my first love, and I would also like to go on record saying that I'm a writer, producer, and entrepreneur, just to make things clear.
Come on, you better know. You better say it.
I'm just letting the people know. Because I mean, I always get stuck on the music deal, but like I have to give myself a little bit more room and a little more grace to be like, no, girl, you're not just that.
Right.
And people need to also know that. Otherwise, they won't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we'll get into the brand too.
Yeah,
I
for
want
sure.
you to talk about
For
that.
sure.
So you said music is your first love.
Music is my first love.
And when did you realize that this was your passion?
I always tell the story that I was in elementary school, and shout out to George Elementary, back in Ypsilanti, Michigan, which is 30 minutes outside of Detroit, Michigan, where I was born. 2,000 miles away from the Wild Wild West. But I was in elementary school. I was in my music class with my teacher, Miss Tuscany, and she was basically doing like a call and response type of situation. And I just remember note for note, like just repeating everything that she said, same key, whatever, and having the epiphany, like, oh my God, like I can sing just like Miss Tuscany. You know what I mean? Like,
I love
maybe
that.
this is a thing. You know what I mean? And I mean, she recognized that as well and started nurturing it and blossoming that and giving me solos, for the little school whatever we had, child, but little school events or whatever. And it blossomed from there as far as school and then church and so on and so forth.
I
So
love that.
that's my little origin story.
Shout out to Miss
Yeah.
Tuscany.
Do you
Yeah,
remember
shout out
the
to her.
first solo you had?
I do. So it was in school, and the song was like, "We are the children of the 21st century,"
Okay.
and it was a very, very, very dramatic song. And I think that's where I get a lot of my drama from, TBH, because it had like the strings in the arrangement or in the production or whatever. And I just remember myself and all of my students or all of my classmates, not the students, child, all of my classmates, and we're just, we are the children of the 21st century. And I'm like, this is so, I'm cringing in my head, but it's like, this is my life. You know what I mean?
I love that.
And I remember the whole verse from my solo too, but it's cute. It's
Okay.
cute to think about and fun to remember when I talk about it. But yeah.
So when you found out that music was your passion,
Mhm.
was your family like nurturing of that?
I feel like being in a musically indulging family
Mhm.
definitely allowed me to expose myself to a lot of culture in music and a lot of culture in art.
Mhm.
However, I do not feel as though I was the most supported
Mhm.
in my creativity and in my art, unless it was through the vein or the guise of the church. You know what I mean? And I know that holds, a little weight in backstories and context and things of that nature in its own regard, but that's what school was for me. You know what I mean? The other side of like being able to nurture and blossom that, and come across paths of different teachers and classmates and people that supported that and saw that in me. You know what I mean? And I would still take it home with me and work on it, and or I would take it to and from church to school, church to school, church to school,
Right.
and built it that way. So for sure.
Yeah, you got to get the foundation by whatever means.
Yeah, and we always find like a lot of our favorite singers have that church upbringing. That's really when they're honed their craft
True.
inside of
The baddest
church
ones is in the
walls.
church, baby.
Yeah.
I heard
The master class.
And
I
you-
love that.
And do you ever find yourself leaning back on the things you learned in the church now on your new music, or like, do you feel like you still have like a little gospel tinge in what you do?
I'll say I do. I just don't think I try to put such a heavy focus on it. But it's definitely there, and I feel like I'm getting to a place where I'm ready to pull out a little bit more of that, honestly. I don't know in what way. I don't know how it's going to show up. But I definitely am ready to give those gospel roots a little, you know what I'm saying? Put them back on the record player and
I'm
see what it
excited to see what you
gives.
do with that.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well, we'll be locked in for that one.
Period.
So, for you, who are your top 3 musical influences?
Luther Vandross, Prince, and I'll say Sarah Vaughan.
Oh, wow.
All
that's
right.
that's a very heavy trio.
Some heavy artillery.
Yeah.
It's talent. It is talent.
Yeah.
Vocalists.
Yeah.
And if people don't know who Sarah Vaughan is, you need to go to Apple Music right now
Baby.
Come on.
and get this lesson.
So, which one? Well, yeah, it would have to be Sarah Vaughan. I was gonna ask if you could collaborate.
Between the three, I would definitely.
There's only one still around.
Well, Sarah Vaughan for sure. But if the other two were still here, like I feel like I might go with Luther.
Okay.
Because I just feel like there would be so much synergy.
I would love to hear what that would sound like.
I just think it would be so fun.
Yeah.
And so like warm and just
So if you could hop on a Luther Vandross song,
sheesh.
which song would it be?
Yeah.
Shit. I would want to do Searching, but it wasn't him as a solo artist, it was him with the band Change.
Okay.
But he was doing vocals on that song,
Mhm.
and had the band members doing backgrounds. But it's a very, very like upbeat and funky song.
Yeah.
But like his vocals are
I always love
silk.
those hidden Luther background vocals, like
Yes.
Part-Time Lover, Stevie
Yes.
Wonder, killing the little scat on the end of it. So I
Maybe.
love me some Luther underground
Mhm.
vocals.
Mhm.
That is so dope. So when you find yourself doing your music, what's the creative process like? Is it like do you because you're a songwriter, so
Yes.
does it pop up in your head as a melody first, or do you find the words first? Like, what type of songwriter are you?
It's honestly a smorgasbord. And what I mean by that is that it comes in various ways. Sometimes it'll come as a lyric, sometimes it'll come as a melody, sometimes I will be producing, and then, the inspiration comes from just what I'm feeling in that moment of what I'm producing. Sometimes it comes from like personal experiences or something that may have happened like that day that gives me some type of realization or just a moment of presence that I feel like is important enough to put into a song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, if I feel like this, and I know somebody else might feel like that. And I think that's always my intention and purpose in anything that I create, is that I'm always a conduit. You know what I mean? I always tell both my own stories and stories that I see on a daily basis, because in some form or another, it's always going to connect to those that relate to it. You know what I mean? And I'm just fortunate enough that with Lavender, the response that it's gotten has been very much that, and people have found their own songs that, ooh, when I hear Perspective, ooh, when I hear Senses, like that's my shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very grateful for that, because that's what I like to create in bodies of work, is that it's always going to have a consistent theme or aesthetic, but the way that I tell the story, there are always going to be different pieces to the puzzle to where you get a full picture and experience, if you will.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, you can tell you right. It
Down.
came right out your mouth. It came right out your mouth. So talking about Lavender, I want to congratulate you, because it's a beautiful thing to support your friends' music, but it's a even more beautiful thing when you enjoy the music. And I was able to listen to it, and sonically it's so beautiful, and it's like it's not one note, there's different vibes, there's something for everybody on there. So for you, what was the inspiration behind Lavender, and how did it get that name?
So I have been on my spiritual journey for a while, honestly, since probably 2012, when I do a little backtracking, but I came to the realization of the spiritual journey when I was in California, probably 2014 to 2016, honestly. But a lot of that is reflective of my inner work, that we call it in today's times, and doing a lot of chakra work, which is focusing on the energy points in your body. I was always focused on my third eye a lot. And that is, residing in the color of purple. So I was on a purple quick as far as like what I would wear or how I would dress, and just really living that on a daily basis. And that ended up evolving into the aromatherapy of lavender itself. You know what I mean? So I use that for like baths, or I would take actual herbs for those that are looking for natural ways to smoke, baby. Smokable herbs like lavender, like mint, like different things like that, and I would put that, in what I would roll, and that has its own natural aphrodisiacs and things that it does for the body as well. So I feel like it's been an evolving circuit of things, to where ultimately I was like, damn, I feel like lavender would be a good project to call, because it's something that I'm living in real time. And from the last project that I had released in 2018, which was my debut EP, Chromatic Spectrum, until 2021 of releasing Lavender, I had a lot to talk about, and a lot that I had experienced, and a lot that the world was experiencing at the time as well. And I just decided to put all of that together and make a story, an experience in audio aesthetic, as I call it, that just creates these palettes, these sonic palettes of environments and atmospheres that the listener can find themselves in, and in correlation to what I'm listening to, be able to find their own moment within that song.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how Lavender came to be. It's a collaboration with Transparency, a little prophetic, if you will, because I
Mhm.
feel like a lot of the things that I write, I'm always writing for my future self, and I can go
Mhm.
back to listen to
Mhm.
Chromatic Spectrum and realize something about myself now
Mm.
that I was singing about in the past project. So
Mhm.
I definitely feel like Lavender has similar energy and capabilities as well. But yeah, at the end of the day, I just want people to enjoy it, and I feel like they have. So
Mhm.
blessings.
And baby, let's get into this cover. Something Prince would live for.
You know,
Yeah,
Something Prince
yeah,
would
yeah.
live for. So James gave me the difficult task of picking the song to
Mhm.
introduce the project
Sure
to you
did.
all. And I was caught up in Senses, which is that number 3 on the project?
Senses is number 4 because I think Frederick's playlist is number 3, and then
Okay.
that introduces Senses.
Normally on like projects, I gravitate to 3 and 8.
Mm,
Really?
Very
interesting.
My life path number is 8, and everything happens to me in 3. So it's always weird. I always start with 3 or 8.
Mhm.
Wow.
Mhm. Yeah.
So do you
Um,
skip to those first, or
Yeah, I skip. Unless
Okay.
like I'll try and go back if the person like if I feel like they had a story to tell, then
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, I'll listen to it in order. But like if you're an artist that I don't feel like does super storytelling,
Mhm.
I'm just like, whatever. 3
Okay.
8. Let's see. But yeah, so when I picked the song, I was caught up between Senses and then Damn, the remix featuring Duran Bernard.
Gang gang.
But I'm also a sucker for a bop.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be the Damn remix today.
Yo.
So
Okay.
James, would you like to introduce it?
What's going on, people? This is James Barmore. That's Barmore.
Come
And
on.
this is, the premiere or whatever on the Good News, on the Get Right radio show.
Okay, okay.
Of my Damn remix featuring Duran Bernard. Shout out to Suge. He is now a Grammy nominated artist.
I peeped.
And I'm super excited for him. So I was really grateful when he was like, "Yeah, I'm a fan. I'll jump on it. I'll do it."
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh, where? Let's go."
Baby.
So here it is, y'all. Damn.
You've been around, ain't paid attention. Focus my lens to see you clear. I might be shy to get your attention. Human interactions is I want you near. Talk to you, talking to me. No matter for you, me. Dance all night, give me that thing there. No fight unless we undress. Yeah. Talk to you, talking to me. No matter for you and me. Oh yeah. Dance all night, give me that thing there. No fight. Everything I want, you give me and more.
Yeah.
Fantasy of love, make me a believer.
Come on in here, Suge. Talk your shit.
Oh my, how nice. You got some act right. Stimulating me mentally. I think I might be up all night, but call me after 9 when my minutes are free. Talk to you, talking to me. No matter for you and me. Dance all night, give me that thing there. No fight unless we undress. Oh, talk to you, talking to me. No matter for you and me. Dance all night, give me that thing there. No fight. Yeah. Everything I want, you give me more. Fantasy of love, make me a believer. Everything I want, you give me and more. Fantasy of love, make me a believer, baby, yeah. Baby, yeah. Everything I want, yeah. You give me more, yeah. Yeah. Ooh.
I fuck with it.
I know that's motherfucking right.
Okay.
I know that is motherfucking right. I know that
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
is right. Bitch, y'all went to town.
Yeah.
Y'all went to town. And I think for me, the reason why I picked the damn remix is because I get pulled into projects based on bops, which is why like a lot of the sad girl music takes a while for me to gravitate to the artist, because it's like, how often does Summer Walker give you a bop?
Right.
You know, like that's why I'm more of like an Ari Lennox, because she plays around with the sounds.
Copy.
But Summer's getting there. I see you, sis. So yeah, that shit right there.
Ooh.
Something to step in for the cookouts. It can be a cruise ship. Like it's just real black fun.
Yeah,
right.
I'm not worried about shit. Like
Yeah.
so fucking good.
It's a groove.
So good. It's
Yes.
so good.
It's a fucking groove.
We love a pocket and we love a groove.
I love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Give me a good bass line, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where can we get Lavender?
Lavender is available on all streaming platforms and digital retailers as well. So Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon, the works.
Yeah.
When you figure it, as you're navigating this industry, child, you figure out a lot and learn a lot. But you know, we put it on a distributor and they send her out, child.
Get her out there.
You can put her on your Instagram, girl.
Okay.
You can put her on your TikTok, sis.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, you can do it all. So
yes.
I always hate to ask these questions, but like, what is your favorite song?
Favorite song
on the
off Lavender? Be All Right.
Okay. And why is that?
Just because it's one of my more transparent songs in regards to like why I wrote it. And it talks about, you know, my state of mental health, and just what I feel like an audio representation of where my mind is and where it can be at times. And like I said, it's another one of those moments where I feel like I can learn something about myself listening to it, like every time. And when I first created it, I was in a different space to where I listen to it now, and the things that I realize or I feel about it. Because writing it then, I was very depressed, dealing with, you know, different forms of anxiety, and just really feeling in my hole is what I call it. Which is why I wrote it, to write myself out of that space, to create some type of healing and like, you know, just a little remedy for myself. But I listen to it now, and it's funny because my boyfriend was like, well, why you gonna keep it on a project then if you're not in that space right now? You know what I mean? And it's because, you know, even though I'm not in that space, I know a lot of people are, and that a lot of what I write, again, is never really for me. It's just to be that conduit and that bridge for like, oh my God, I go through that too. And I'm going to be okay because James was able to, you know, articulate what I feel, but also understand that it's going to be all right. Right. Title of the song. So,
well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Support Lavender. Get with it or get lost. Period. Okay. Point blank. Period. I also want to, before we move on into the question of the day, I want to briefly talk about your brand, because you did remind us that you're an entrepreneur. So first, give us the name of your brand.
So I have a few brands, child, but the umbrella brand is I call it the Barmore brand. So
I didn't know that.
It's just my last name, James Barmore.
Okay.
Legacy Empire, if you will.
Period.
And then under the Barmore brand, I have a few things that I work on. So obviously there is James Barmore, the artist, the singer, the songwriter, the producer, the performing artist, if you will. And then I also have a small business by the name of Afro Mystic Apothecary. So this is my small gay black owned business.
Okay.
Bang bang.
Great product.
Oh yeah.
Something for the spirit, something for the soul.
Yes, yes. So that is another form of service that I offer to myself and to those that require it. It's face and body sugar scrubs, all natural, all holistic. And also dedicated to the genetics of different skin. So if you have more oily skin, if you have more dry skin, if you want something that's a little more rough as far as the exfoliation, if you have sensitive skin and you don't want too much of that, I definitely cater to those different face types with these scrubs, but they're also customizable as well. Like James, I have a nut allergy, so I can't do do the almond oil that you
Got
use.
it.
I
Mhm.
use coconut oil.
Okay.
So on and so forth. But that is upon request. It's not something that I actually offer. But face and body scrubs, I do candles, and then I do tarot readings. So
Okay.
this is another part of creating a sensory service out of the Barmore brand, because James Barmore, the artist, is what you hear.
Right.
Aphoristic Apothecary is what you're feeling, what you're smelling, what you are intuitively, receiving for yourself. And then I have Creator Sessions LLC, co-partnered and co-founded by my good friend Patrick LaShore, my brother. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Patrick.
Shout out to Patrick. And we made that brand as of now about almost 3 years ago. So it is a local networking platform that we typically have local SoCal artists come in and, from singers, songwriters, rappers, freaking actors and that want to do monologues, comedians, so on and so forth, and just creating a platform for them to showcase their gifts and their talents, always within the space of love and supportiveness and appreciation. We just started including vendors just to get other businesses in there and to get their bags as well, whether that be a service like Aphoristic Apothecary where you're giving something, or food vendors as well, because there's some dope ass chefs out in the Valley area as well.
Baby, and we love a plate of food.
Baby.
We love
So we love that as well for them as well. And our 3-year anniversary is coming up in December.
Okay,
Next month.
congratulations.
So we'll be doing something. We'll be doing a gala for that.
Ooh,
That's exciting. Sounds like we gotta get dressed up.
Period.
Pull out my good shirt.
Black
Put
and
your
white
freakum
gala.
dress on.
Hey.
Right, but make it black and white.
We'll make it black and white.
Follow the rules. So yes, thank you so much for gracing our ears. Y'all heard all of it here. So check out the Barmore brand, period. Okay. There's something for everybody. So get into it. Support Black business, support Black artists and creativity. And that was all for the topic.
Ooh.
And now let's get into the question of the day.
Question.
So today's question of the day is, ain't it funny? And
It funny.
come on. That's my shit. The remix. I like both. I like the
It
remix better.
must be
Yes. You got me like that. I love that. Makes me feel good in the morning. So the reason why I did this, like I was mentioning earlier when I was talking about my week. So I was working at this pop-up shop yesterday and it was great. I was connecting with people, sharing information, and the vibes were great. But when I went home, I struggled to get home because my finances have not been the greatest for a minute now. But like in a way that was familiar to like a younger struggling Eric, but I think this time I have more knowledge and self-awareness to calm down. But it's like, whew. So I say the highs and lows at the same time, because these last 2 weeks specifically, I've been doing a bunch of carpets, and if you follow me on social media, it looks like I'm booming, and I am booming, but like it looks like I'm really doing well. But then like I did the ebony red carpet, I couldn't afford to get home. So it was so interesting to me, the public perception of how you're doing versus how you're doing.
Right.
So for me, it was like, it felt great to cover ebony and to be at this pop-up shop with all these people, and I'm just like, but shit, I can't afford to Uber home right now. So I was walking outside. This is why I'm so bundled up today. I was walking outside with a short sleeve shirt, and I got home at like 2 a.m. and I couldn't, like, the Uber wouldn't work. So I finally found a Lyft that was reasonable. It was like $33, and it was a 20 to 40 minute wait time. Then I was just like, let's see what else I can figure out. So I canceled that ride. Then I had borrowed like $10 from a friend, and then I found like a cheaper Uber. But the temporary hold from Lyft was still on, so I couldn't afford the Uber now. And I was just like, God, I'm tired. I'm grateful. Life is going well, but like on the inside, I'm worn out.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, when is it gonna give in?
Right.
And I think the reason why I wanted to make this the question of the day is because I feel like this is a shared experience. It probably doesn't look exactly the same, but it's just like, I want people to really understand that shit may look sweet, but it can taste bitter at the same time, and that is a part of this life journey, not necessarily just the creative journey, but a life journey in general. It's just like, you have some high moments, but don't let that define your perception of a person or think that what their situation is, because you don't know what the fuck is going on till you know what's going on.
Right.
So I want to open the floor to y'all and ask if y'all have had any moments. First,
thank you for your transparency. Thank you for sharing that, because I think a lot of people will rather live in the high and not be open and honest about the lows that are honestly going on. So I appreciate you like opening up and actually sharing what that is, because someone else is struggling with that or maybe going through that too. And hearing you say that and how you're accomplishing over it is going to touch them. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
But honestly, like we talked about the other day, like it looks great, even for me. Like, wow, yeah, Kelvin, you work for Hollywood Unlocked. Yeah, you do this. You're at that event. You're at this thing. But it's not all rainbows and sunshine. Like I have my moments. I seem to be a very positive presenting person, and I am a positive person. But there's days that I just want to be in my room in the dark.
Right.
There's days that I am honestly just drained. Like I don't want to be social. I don't want to go out. I don't want to smile. I want to be mean to people.
Right.
I want to sit down. I don't feel like being social at all. Like I get that. But there's also days that like I feel like my work is not enough. There's days that I feel like, okay, you've come so far. Yes, you've done this. Yes, you do that. Yes, you can be in this room. You can be in that room. But then sometimes you wonder, why am I in this room? Do I measure up to what's going on in this room? That imposter syndrome kicks in.
Right.
Or like I know I'm in this room, but if this was the bill was supposed to be passed around back to me, I know I can't pay this shit.
Right.
Like I don't even know what the child declined. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Right.
So I definitely understand those moments, and I have those moments myself where I'm just like, okay, it looks all good, but I'm always questioning, okay, God, what is the reason for these other things that's happening?
Right.
Like I can see the sunshine, I can see this, but there's still some darkness there.
Mm.
And what am I going to do about this darkness? How do I handle this darkness? And I know you say it's not going to last forever, but how long is now?
Right.
Because Jesus Christ,
Right.
we've been in this for a minute,
Yeah.
and we're trying to figure out how we're going to get out this situation. So I think it's all optics. And I think one thing that we do a lot online is that we post a highlight reel. And we only post those great moments. And even when you look at a basketball game, if you're watching a full basketball game, you know that there's sometimes they're going to hit that 3-pointer and sometimes they're going to make a slam dunk. But we also know right there in that basketball game, there's a lot of bricks that are shot. There's a lot of things that don't even go near the rim. There are a lot of mess ups. People are falling. People are tripping. But that never makes ESPN.
Right.
All you see is the winning things. All you see is the dunks. All you see is the people making the 3 points. You don't see the flubs and the mess ups. And I think that what we do sometimes on our lives, we only focus on the highlights. We only say this is what is going good right now. This is my accomplishment. When somebody asks you, how you doing? Oh yeah, I got this in the work. I got that in the work. But we never say, yes, last night I cried. We never share those moments. And I think for sometimes the transparency is needed more than we know, because it's a cleansing process, because it's us being able to connect on a level that's deeper than surface, to share an emotional connection with somebody like, you know what, I too am going through that. Right. And we can help each other get through this, or even just open it up so we can get help from somebody that we didn't even know that could help us. Sometimes we go through things and sweeping under the rug and not realize that the person that could help us is sitting right next to us, or is a phone call away that is going through a similar situation or just got out of that situation that can help you through it.
Right.
So yeah, I think the highs and lows of life is just
yeah.
I think I have dual perspectives on it, because I mean I'm in the thick of it, right now. And when it comes to social media, I always have a mindset of like really questioning how much to share. It goes back to that transparency versus oversharing that we talked about earlier on in the show, because we see or we're starting to see certain artists really coming into the forefront and making their struggle and their shadow work like their brand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And to that, there is a celebratory, acknowledgement that is also given. But I also fear that there is a certain level of like, well, is this really real? Because why is this your brand? Like, are you just trying to, gain the clout? Or are you just trying to get the attention? Right. So it's definitely, or I definitely see it as that point of question for myself personally. Always am questioning how much to share, because I don't want to be portrayed or come off as this person that's just, always fishing for attention and always looking for someone to give me condolences or always looking for someone to cheer me up
Right.
on social media, when I can do that for myself, or I can actually reach out to the person next to me in regards to my support system or people that I hold within those intimate spaces to actually be able to verbalize what it is that I'm feeling and trust that they're able to hold space for me as well. And holding space for people as far as our different relationships and those people that we do hold in those spaces is a totally separate conversation. But it's difficult. But at the end of the day, like, I resonate with both of y'all. Like, all the things, I have to list off all the things that I do now, and as an affirmation to myself of what I want. You know what I mean? And who I am at the end of the day, because I'll be the first person to be like, oh yeah, I'm just working on a little bit here and there,
Right.
doing what I need to do, whoop, whoop. And it's never that minuscule. And to not be confident in, or to not, really talk about. And yeah, it's a balance. I find that it's a balance for me at the moment.
Yeah.
Of really being able to affirm myself and give myself the grace, like I said, to be okay with not being okay, but still being able to say that even though this is dissatisfying in this moment, I still have things that I can look forward to and constantly honestly remind myself on a daily basis, because I'll be the first person to get bent over something. And it can be something small that will then spiral into my whole of like unnecessary things that I'm now creating.
Yeah.
So I've had to keep myself in a positive headspace, but now to accept that I go through a lot of pain and am in a lot of pain is very vulnerable. It comes from a very vulnerable space. But the more you talk about it, the more you flex the muscle, the more that you're able to acknowledge and accept it, the more that we're able to work through it on a daily basis until before we know it, we're out of those spaces.
Yeah.
So I get asking God, like, okay, you say that I'm great.
Right.
You tell people to tell me that I'm great and that I had this talent and that they love my project and that, they see me doing this and that. But where's the where's the receipts?
Right. Because maybe I'm worn out. I look like Will at the red table.
Okay.
Like
Tired.
Right. You rep the community. So much
like,
love.
Yeah.
And I like that. And what I got from what you just said is basically this idea of owning your shit in every sense of the word. Owning the times where you don't feel 100%, the times where you feel a little sad or you feel a little insecure. And it doesn't mean you have to necessarily blast it for the public, but acknowledge it for yourself.
Yeah.
And the same way that like you corrected me when I was doing your introduction, it's like, and of course I know you do all these things, but like it could have been so easy for you to have been like, yeah, I know, friend is just talking about the music and da-da-da-da-da, but rather address it. And it's just like, yes, and that's not bragging. It doesn't make you arrogant. It doesn't make you, I don't know, any of the negative connotations that are associated with standing up for
I
yourself.
had to get used to doing that.
You have to do it. People don't know until you tell them. And you have to teach people how to treat you, brand you, market you, and what the fuck to call you by.
Shout out to boundaries.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
So no, I think that that's great. We spoke on a word and I love that.
Love it.
And I love where we're all going. Everyone in this room. Like, I know I have an idea of the trajectory that we're on, but these are the conversations that need to be had on the journey to just remind you that shit is real and you're not the only one going through real shit.
Period.
But that was all for the question of the day.
Whoop, whoop.
Question.
And now it's time for If I Told You That. So today's If I Told You That is, who are you really? Who is behind the mask that you show to the rest of the world?
Why are we digging so deep in the show today?
I don't know what was happening. Mind you, I did this outline when I got home in the cold at 2 a.m. I think I was so worn out.
Yeah.
I was like, bitch.
You were in it.
I was
Giving.
tired. I was tired.
In it.
But yeah, who are you really, and who is behind the mask that you show to the rest of the world? Anyone want to go first?
I'll go first. Just to get it out there. I feel like James Barmore has always had the mask of having it together and being in control of everything that is James Barmore, as far as the narrative, how people see him, how people look at him, and it's worked. That's the thing. It's worked for a very long time, and I feel like it's kept people at bay. Majority of people that I didn't want my business or just friends, honestly, that just didn't know to not know, and I was okay with that. But getting to a place of being open and honest with myself and more authentic and genuine with who I am as a person is requiring myself to be more open and honest and transparent about the darkness that exists within me as well. To know that I have very pessimistic like expectations and visualizations about myself and about my life, that I expect the least when I want the most. You know what I
That's
mean?
a word.
And really being able to again encourage myself and redefine myself as a person, because I believe the person reflects the art. It's not the back, it's not the reverse for me.
Right.
Being the person that reflects the art, I want, or I find motivation and encouragement in creating art for myself as the person that I am now, to like navigate through these spaces, these dark spaces, these uncertain spaces, these unknown spaces, and points of self-discovery for myself, which is really what Lavender is about for me. Really a point of self-exploring and being honest with myself about where I am and who I am, or what I've experienced and what the world is also experiencing in comparison or in parallel to what I am also experiencing through the world. So yeah, child, that's who I am under the mask. I am a girl that is just trying to figure it out and have the best, healthiest and most positive outlook about it for myself. I'm trying to become more confident in who I am and the greatness that I possess. I am someone that is trying to nourish and also build a lot of the relationships and partnerships that I have in my life at the moment, and just step in, jump in, not even step in, because I've had my one foot in and one foot out for a while. But it's time to go all in.
That was good.
It is good.
Okay.
But shit.
Sorry, I'm deep.
No.
Never apologize when
no,
you
never
hear
apologize. Never. I'm a chaotic mess under this mask. I think sometimes I present like I have it together, and I don't. I don't know what's going on from day to day.
Period.
I'm not always happy about what's going on, but I know I present as if I am. I always try to put out a positive outlook so I can get that positive energy back, because I know I need it. And sometimes I don't feel it, and I don't feel like doing it, and I don't feel like doing these things. Under the mask, I have my own insecurities about where this career is going. Did I make the right decision? If I would have stayed in education, I know I would be a lot farther there. Me starting over here, was that the right choice? Was this the right move to move out to LA? Like, did I make the right decision by saying I quit this life, everything that I knew, everybody I know, everything that I grew up with, making the jump over here? Was that the right choice? Do I have the foundation here? There's a whole lot going on. Like, am I as good as I think I am, or am I as good as people say I am? Am I as bad as my worst critic says, or am I as good as my favorite fan says I am?
Yeah.
Where do I fall into that? And how do I listen to those things? Do I need to get better at this, or am I solid at that? What am I learning? Have I learned anything? Am I progressing, or am I stagnant? All those things going in my mind behind this mask. Just really trying to figure this thing out. Swimming, sometimes feel like drowning. Just literally just here. Sometimes like I'm present, but I'm not here. So those things, all those things going behind this mask. Figuring out like where I should be. Like, okay, Kelvin, my birthday's next month. You had a goal to figure out. Like you when you were young, you said, I want to be at this place by this age.
Yeah.
You're not there.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for you? How are you figuring these things out? How do you get to that space? Or like, am I in the right social group? Am I where I need to be? And then finding those social groups was like, this shit is stupid.
Yeah.
I see why I'm not in this social group.
Yeah.
And then starting to question, what are your real needs and wants, and how do you see yourself versus how other people perceive you? And what is the perception that you want people to have of you? All those things going on in the mind. Yeah. To keep it short.
Deep. That was deep.
Oh, we here,
It's
child.
the depth for me.
Yeah. I feel like a
Um,
lot of people are doing this work at the moment, and some just aren't able to verbalize it or be as clear and precise or just open and honest about it at the end of the day. Because it's something that it's not normal. It's not normal for us
Right.
to really talk
right.
about what we go through and where we are and what it looks like for us, because it's our job to remain vigilant and persistent and to figure it out and to make a way through, make a
Right.
way out of no way.
That old
Press down,
tale.
shake it together, and run it over, child.
Whose black auntie is preaching that? That was amazing. Can you write that on a poster?
I will.
I'm gonna find a way to use that
Okay.
with my kids.
With
I don't know
your
what the
kids?
situation is gonna be, but
But
I'm gonna
it's
run it
popping
down.
up.
I'm gonna
It's
run
gonna
it down.
pop up.
I hope it's not a part of generational trauma, but I'm gonna run it down. I'm gonna run it down. That was so auntie. You know I love an auntie
Eric,
moment.
where are you? Who are you behind that mask?
I am a very nervous child behind this mask. I like it's the contrast between my public perception and who I am is so drastic. I am always just like thinking. My mind is always racing, like and about anything. Like even during interviews, which is probably my least favorite place for my mind to race.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wonder how that came across. Did I say that correctly? Mind you, this person's talking to me. And I'm just sitting there. Like my biggest thing in life has been building and maintaining my self-confidence. Well, rebuilding and maintaining my self-confidence. And like I'm always so anxious. Like when I talk to people in person, like you'll probably notice I stutter or I trip over words because I'm thinking about the next thing I'm saying. Or wondering like how the person received it. And like it just my confidence as a kid was so poor that my biggest fear in life is like, of course I want the grand life. Like I want to be on the big stages and all this stuff, but I'm so afraid of being broken down. Like I don't want the public to do what I watch them do. And I know it's inevitable, and that's been my life challenge. So a part of me has been stagnant because it's just like, I know I'm going to get there, but am I ready for that? Like, am I ready to give you my all and you give me your worst? Not even thinking about the people that want to give me their best.
Right.
The people that are giving me their worst. You have 102 comments. 100 of them are like, you're amazing. Those 2 comments, you are the worst thing I've ever seen. Those are the ones that get read. So, like for me, it's just about really appreciating who I am. And like, I understand that to people that don't know me, like when you hear the baddest bitch on the block, some people start to feel their self-confidence gets challenged because like, are you saying you're better than me? I'm like, take yourself out the equation. Like you don't know me. And my like this tagline is about me manifesting who adult Eric is supposed to be, who younger Eric always wanted to be, but didn't believe he was. It's never about being better than you. It's just like, I need to be the baddest bitch on the block. Any block I'm on, I have to be that bad bitch. So it's a journey, but like you guys said, you just float. Float on. Float on. I just downloaded that a few days ago. I just downloaded that a few days ago. So yeah, that is who I am behind the mask. And that was all for If I Told You That.
My goodness, it's time for Uniquely Speaking. I feel like we've been preaching the whole time.
You big, fat, white, nasty, smelling, fat bitch. Why you took me off the motherfucking schedule with your trifling, dirty, white, racist ass, big, fat bitch.
Yeah. So, wow. The Uniquely Speaking that I did have in mind is completely gone out the window. So gone. So I think I want to talk about silencing the noise and aspects of the noise that we have in our minds. Because as we had these conversations, there's one thing that I realized that we all have in common is that we all have that little voice in the back of our head that makes us question what we are doing and why we are here. And that voice, although it may be small, could be so loud. And it gets you to feel like, am I enough? Am I doing enough? Will I be enough? Is this going to work out and will it make sense? And I think one thing that we have to remember is that where we are now is where we prayed to be before. There were times we didn't have the things that we have now. And I think sometimes we worry so much about what's next or how do I maintain this instead of remembering that we have it. And that noise of how to get out of this or how to move past this or how to do these things, we don't realize that we were somewhere worse before.
Right.
And my good friend Ty Tribbett, I love that guy.
Okay.
The song says, if he did it before, he can do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Same guy right now, same guy back then.
then.
And I think sometimes we forget about those things.
Mhm.
Sometimes we forget that the situations that we thought we couldn't make it through led us to this moment here.
Right.
And it was those moments that prepared us for this moment that we feel like we can't make it through.
Yeah.
Right.
So silencing that noise and making a greater voice in your mind to say, like, you know what? You're going to be all right. It's going to be okay. I don't know how it's going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how this chapter is going to end. Is this a saga? God, let me know.
Okay.
So I can prepare.
Is this a trilogy, girl?
Who is the master fighter? I got to fight at the end of this. Okay. Let me know. But understanding that what you're going through right now does not last forever.
Mm-hmm.
In the darkest of night, the sun must rise, and it's going to bring light.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to remember that. It may feel like midnight, but as soon as 6 o'clock comes, there will be some sunshine. We just have to make it through midnight. And I think that's one thing that we all spoke about today.
Yeah.
Making it through your midnight and silencing the noise of the crickets, of the bushes rattling, the wind blowing, and not knowing what that stuff is.
Yeah.
But understanding that once the sun comes, you'll see that it was just a little bunny. It was just something that's so minute that you could already overcome. So silencing those noise and those worries in your mind, that's what I want people to focus on this week. And I think that's what we should focus on for the rest of the year and for the rest of our lives, knowing that this moment and those noises are so minute and so iota that you don't really have to worry about them. And that's uniquely speaking.
The church say, man.
This
Amen.
is for Rachel, you big fat white nasty.
Rachel,
smelling
silence your
fat
shit.
bitch.
Right.
With your trifling, dirty, white, racist ass, big fat bitch.
And now it's at that time where we gotta go. So
I'm ready to get the fuck ASAP after this shit.
Yeah.
Kelvin, what did you learn today?
I've learned that if you are in school at Hazard, Kentucky, just wear sweatpants and a hoodie.
Same.
Be
That's
careful with
it.
that, because sweatpants
It
season
is
is a thing
sweatpants season.
too.
Shit.
Make them black.
Y'all need dress code. Y'all need dress code and school uniforms. Just go ahead and do it.
Everybody.
The whole county.
the
Everybody in Hazard just wear uniforms. I've also learned that the group is it's just over the bullshit, and we will be having a meeting. I'll make sure I send out the email blast because I don't get invited to the LGBTQIA.
I'll be taking minutes.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good.
And also just remember that you are where you are for a reason, and don't let that reason get past you, and don't miss the lesson in the moment that you're having. That's what I've learned.
I've learned not to have sex in the back of a 2016 Hyundai.
Yes.
You never know what can happen.
Yes.
And Geico doesn't cover STIs and STDs.
They do not.
No, they don't.
Very unfortunate. I've learned that Hazard High School needs to be shut down because it's a hazard. I've learned that Jada Pinkett Smith loves transparency and vulnerability, no matter how tired Will may look. And I've been reminded to stand in your power and stand in your light. You're not the only people struggling right now, and that doesn't make your situation insignificant, but that's just a reminder that you are not alone, and you know not to be too hard on yourself. We all have to deal with things. James?
I've learned that, and I continue to say that we are all on a journey to the same destination, but we just have different ways of getting there. I've learned that that the word is ghetto.
It's so ghetto.
Do not recommend. If I could leave a Google review, I wouldn't.
Yeah, right.
Give me on Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos' spaceships, please, so I can get the fuck.
Right.
Okay.
I've learned that as much as we feel like we're into the thick of it, all of us are in some form or fashion, you know what I mean? And that it's okay to have those moments to reach out for or be open to receiving help in the moment. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Or messages or signs or wonders. You know what I mean? Because those things are the things that are going to continue to help silence those voices in your mind and to continue to become the baddest bitch on the block.
Amen.
Period.
So
Period.
gang gang.
And on that note, I want to thank first James for coming on the show.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, Stream Lavender. Get into the Barmore brand. I'm not playing with you hoes. And if you would like to keep up with me, feel free on IG at The World According to Eric, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Eric Devontae, and TikTok at Eric Devontae Russell 3.
Yes, and I'm Kelvin Unique, KelvinEunique on your Instagram. Just flip that to Unique Kelvin on your Twitter. Make sure you're following the Get Right Radio Show on Instagram, the Get Right Radio Show, and then also download this wonderful Good News Radio app. It's free in all your app stores, Apple Music and well, not Apple Music, Apple bitch, and Google Play.
Yeah, the Apple Store.
Yeah, where can we find you?
You can find me on all social media at James Barmore, JamesBarmore.
Come on, jingle. Very. I wish I had a beat like a Parker background. I don't like that one, and you know I don't like that one. Oh God. Okay, look. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got right.
That's right. Get right or get left.
Bitch,
Bye,
you better get right. We did it.